Well, good morning. It's a chilly day here. I want to get out the teapot and make a good hot cup of tea this morning. Donald's working outside this morning out there on the fence. We'll add elderberries to my tea this morning. Might take 2 hands to do this. We don't have the kids today. It's Sunday. So there are a few things that I need to get done while I don't have kids. Fix Donald some more coffee. We're out here trying to get things done outside a little bit. The gardens out there is looking good. Donald got things cut back yesterday. He just went ahead and weed-eated some things down that I would normally have cut down by hand, but I was not able to do that this year, so he did it. He got out there and done that, and it looks so good. I'll have to take you out there and show you. We'll let this steep a bit. We'll go out there and help him. We've got a breach in our fence, so he's got to get out there. He's been out there working on that. Look at the little squirrel sitting in the end of the driveway. David's been feeding him. He's just sitting down there. I'm coming out, going ahead and harvesting some of this comfrey. I'm going to go ahead and get it before it gets too much colder. It has frosted, but I still got comfrey here. I'm going to go ahead and get it and dry it, so I'll have it when I make my comfrey salve the next time. Of course, it'll come out really good. After I cut it back, it won't hurt it a bit. I'll go ahead and harvest some of this. Here are the gardens where Donald just cut everything down this year. Normally I come out here and pick and choose, and I pull and cut back the individual things and collect all the seeds and everything from the plants that I want to save the seeds from. I did save some seeds, but Donald, he said, we're just going to go ahead and take it all down to the ground except these irises. I still got to get the clippers out here and clip down some of these irises. But he just got out here and clipped everything down, cut the gardens down to the ground. Bird baths are messy. I got to get out here and clean everything up. But I do like the way this looks. He's got it clean down to the ground. We usually add mulch this time of the year. We mulch over this some. So fall cleanup is underway. Donald worked all day. I worked most of the day to help him, but I had to go inside and do some things. There were still things that needed to be done inside. And we got the fig bush here planted. And I think that's a good place for it. I think it'll do good there. He got some of the elderberries cut back just a little bit. We don't always cut these down to the ground. We kind of leave them where they're at. There are still things that need to be cleaned. I've still got to clean the crabgrass and stuff that's around here. And I'll have to do that by hand because I try to leave the clematis there. And there is still a little more to do here. getting up some of the dead, dried things. But we did get some of this good and clean. I had been working on this for a little while anyway. But it is looking good. It's looking so much better than it was. I am happy to get done whatever we can get done. Got a little stink bug on me. Happy to get things done around here and get a lot of this stuff in order. I'll show you at the street the big pile of stuff that's out here at the street that we cut down out of the gardens that we didn't want to put into the compost pile. You can see that big pile of stuff. Now the city will pick that up. And that's just all the stuff that was out of the flower gardens. So it's looking a little neater. Things are looking a little better around here. I did get some angel trumpet cuttings. I'm going to get those started to give them for friends, and then I'm going to keep one or two to put in different places. Now I've got a few crazy things going on with my plants around here. This plant is sitting here on the desk, and this is just a little light, and I've got a fluorescent bulb in there that the plants love, but look what's coming out of the top of it. That thing has grown through the shade and up. It's doing its own thing. The cuttings that my daughter gave me, they're doing really good. This one is so pretty. It's got a new leaf on it, but the cats decided that they would just chew off half of the new leaf. So that's an update on some of the cuttings. The rest of them are doing pretty good. This one's slow to open, but its roots are looking really good. I checked on them here. They're doing good, so I'm expecting that one to do good. I've got this one in a little dome, but it's doing pretty good. One of its little leaves is dried up here, but this one's doing good. And I checked in there to make sure it had roots, and it did. So I'm going to put that right back over it to keep it from losing moisture. So the plants are looking pretty good. They're all hugging this window, trying to get as much natural sunlight as they possibly can. And I'm limited. I'm limited on how much light I have in this house, how much natural light I have. Let me step outside and show you what that looks like from the other side of the door. And this is how it looks from the other side of the door. You can see the plants. They're all reaching for the light. It is almost like a jungle right here. I have got to get a solution for all my plants. I've got a lot of plants and a little bit of space. This is the Thanksgiving cactus. It's getting ready to bloom. And it's November. This is the one that I brought in from outside. And it'll be blooming before I know it. I've probably had this one maybe 7 years. And I just keep it cut back. Take it out every late spring, early summer, and bring it in right before fall, before it gets too cold. I have a whole list of projects that I have to get done. Well, here it is November, and so of course I'm focusing on just the holidays. You know, Thanksgiving's coming up, and plans to see family as much as I can. And then Christmas will be here before we know it. So I've got a lot of holiday things going on, but I have a lot of unfinished projects around the house. I'm thinking about doing a video where I knock out a few of those projects on that project list. So much going on. There's just so much going on. There'll be a lot of get-togethers. There'll be things that I'll have to plan that's coming up. But I thought I'd just show y'all some of my houseplant situations and let you see how good the gardens look out here since Donald got out here and trimmed them down. They were severely overgrown. Things got out of hand for me this year. I am going to work harder next year so that that doesn't happen, even if I have to scale back some things. I'd rather scale back and have it all under control than to take on more than I can handle. I do plan on increasing the vegetable garden, having more plants and planting that in an effective manner so that there are more vegetables and more things going out there in the vegetable garden, maybe harvest more this year, and just maintaining out here in the front gardens. I don't have a lot of plans to add anything. Of course, you know, I added that fig tree, that fig bush, and I'm excited about that. I love figs. I make homemade fig Newtons and different things, and I would love to be able to share some fig dishes. But got that in the ground, and you know, I shared with you before I got on the list, I've got a need or a desire to add a pear tree or a peach tree, and so I think I'm going to do that this year. And that's about it for any kind of additions. The rest of the things, I think I'm going to work with what I have. One of the things about having a long-term garden and having a lot of annuals or perennials that come back every year, they multiply, and then you have to divide and make space or give away. It's a little bit of work, but it's well worth it. I've got a lot of perennials that I've had out here in this garden for years, and you know, I can step back and take a fresh look at it and see, well, what do I need to do? How do I balance all this out? I used to have quite a bit of daffodil and tulip bulbs, not as many out here as I have had at once. The garden has evolved, it's changed a little bit, and I'm going to try to get it to where it's easily maintained, where it's not as labor intensive as it is right now. It's a very small garden, but very labor intensive. It's a kind of a lot of stuff that goes into it to keep it up. So I'm just going to work on it maybe being a little bit less labor intensive for next year. I'll have to get out my gardening planning book and go ahead and make the plans now and look back. I don't always get to do everything that I am planning. I don't always get to follow that guideline that I do in my gardening journal, but I still keep trying because it gives me somewhere to start. It gives me a direction and a goal. And so that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm doing out here today. Thank you for letting me bring you along with me and share with you some of the indoor houseplants and share with you out here the gardens where Donald's cut them back. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Like always, until next time.